the weigh-in. There will be fireworks in the ring tomorrow night for the historic Undisputed 154-pound championship of the world. Jemell Iron Man Charlo versus Brian El Boxy Castano.
So certainly the 154-pound unification title matchup is back, ladies and gentlemen. The first Undisputed title event for the 2022 year. It is back. Jemell Charlo, 154-pound WBC, IBF, WBA, and the Ring magazine champion, defending his title again against the WBO 154-pound title champ, Brian Castano. What's happening, everyone? I am your host, Nice. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you do. For the latest boxing news, feedback, and entertainment. Now, I've been wanting to do a video on this, so I'm doing it now. The rematch is set, ladies and gentlemen. It was supposed to be for February 26th, but they pushed it back to March 12th, I believe. And it is going to happen for the unification matchup. Who do you have? Let's break this thing down, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the first matchup, as I stated before the fight took place, that I had Brian Castano possibly winning the matchup. Now, many people state that he won the matchup. A lot say that it was a draw. Some say Charlo should have won that. Not at all. I saw, of course, Brian Castano outwork Charlo most of the fight, most of the rounds. Though Charlo in 2 rounds staggered Brian Castano with a good thudding shot in the 2nd round, and I believe it was the 10th round. But with all that, Brian Castano did the much more offensive work and should have pulled off the victory. Now, the first matchup was in Houston, Texas, and supposedly this rematch was supposed to be again in Houston, Texas. Now it has been pushed to March 12th, I believe, in Los Angeles, ladies and gentlemen. So now that the fight is taking place elsewhere, Brian Castano has a better shot in winning a decision, in my opinion, if it gets that far. Now, I believe that Brian Castano is a superior type boxer, very skillful technician, knows how to use the ring, very smart, ladies and gentlemen, very high ring IQ, and has a lot of heart. It can take thudding shots. So Charlo in the first fight was seeming to look for the opening to push back Brian Castano and maybe land some thudding blows, but wasn't really able to find Castano that much during the fight, only 2 or 3 times. And, was outworked, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion. So, they gave it a draw, and now we are back for the rematch. My thoughts, great matchup. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the first fight was great. This one, I believe, should be better. Now, why I say? Because both men have been in the ring with each other and should know what to bring in the next matchup, in this rematch. I believe Brian Castano is going to win this matchup. And the reason why I say is because he believes that he can defeat and he can win, especially because of the first fight. Now, he has a ton of heart, a lot of skills, and I believe that he's going to prep himself even better, even more, to make sure he takes out Charlo. Now, what do I mean by that? Knockout? Maybe. But what I'm saying is that he's going to try to outwork him even more in this matchup to convince the judges that he's the one to be crowned king. Now, Charlo has to come in, always focus. He's always focused, but it looks like, in rematches, he doesn't get the best of the opposition. Now, I can bring back the Tony Harrison fight. Most people thought that Charlo won the first fight. I believe that Tony did enough to pull it off in the first fight, honestly. And the second fight, Tony Harrison was winning the matchup against Charlo, hands down, until he got caught in the 11th round and got stopped. So with all that being said, can Charlo come back more prepped for this second matchup against Brian Castano? Let's see. Because with the Harrison fight, it didn't seem like he brought his best in the rematch. Now, can he bring it against Brian Castano? He's going to have to. Because Brian Castano is a dog. He's a beast. He has a ton of heart. He can take punches. He can slug it out. He can box. He can move. He can do it all, ladies and gentlemen. He's a special type fighter, I say. Brian Castano. I've said it before. I was always looking into this young man, and I said one day somebody's going to have to face this guy. His moment shall come one day, and look, it was here. But they ruled it a draw, and now the rematch is set. Ladies and gentlemen, my thoughts overall. Good matchup. Brian Castano is pulling for the victory to become undisputed, and I believe that he's not going to let this pass by him again. Now, with Charlo, he wants to become undisputed without a shadow of a doubt. Now that it's going to be in LA, he's going to have to bring it to Castano. Way more than the first fight. He tried to box Castano in the first fight and be the counterpuncher. But this time, he's going to have to bring it, and bring it. Because one thing Brian Castano knows how to do is bring it. Yes, he knows how to bring it, ladies and gentlemen. So, great matchup. March 12th, ladies and gentlemen, for the undisputed 154-pound titles. What do you guys think? Who's going to win this matchup? Will it be Charlo? Or will it be Brian Castano, ladies and gentlemen? Let me know in the comments down below. Y'all already know I am your host, Nice. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, don't forget to share the fight room.